Ever experienced a series of unfortunate events and heard someone blame it on Mercury retrograde, wondering what on earth they're talking about? Well, you're not alone. Let's dive into the astronomical phenomenon known as Mercury retrograde. Picture this. You're sitting on a train, watching another train on a parallel track. Suddenly, the other train appears to be moving backward. But is it really? No. It's just an optical illusion created by your relative speeds. Mercury retrograde is similar. From our earthly perspective, there are times when Mercury appears to move in the opposite direction in its orbit. But rest assured, it's not actually reversing course. This celestial dance happens about 3 times a year, lasting roughly 3 weeks each time. It's like Mercury's taking a little vacation, and when the boss is away, things can get a tad chaotic. Now, you might be wondering, why should I care about a planet's vacation schedule? Well, in astrology, Mercury is the messenger of the gods, ruling over communication, technology, and travel. So when it checks out, we might experience some hiccups in these areas. Emails get lost in cyberspace, flights are delayed, misunderstandings abound. It's like the universe is playing a cosmic prank on us. But remember, it's not all doom and gloom. Mercury retrograde is also a time for reflection, revisiting old issues and resolving unfinished business. So while it might seem like chaos, it can also be an opportunity for growth and learning. Now, the next time your phone glitches or your car won't start, and someone sagely nods and says, Mercury must be in retrograde," you won't be left scratching your head. You'll understand that it's just a part of our cosmic journey, a moment for us all to pause, reflect, and maybe even laugh at the miscommunications and mishaps. So next time someone blames their misfortune on Mercury retrograde, you'll know exactly what they're talking about. Now that we know what Mercury retrograde is, let's delve into why it's considered significant in astrology. Mercury, as we know, is the smallest planet in our solar system and the closest to the sun. But in astrology, it's not its size or proximity to the sun that matters. Mercury is known as the planet of communication, ruling over our intellect, our minds, our thoughts. It's the cosmic messenger. It's the planet that governs how we express ourselves, how we process information, and how we interact with the world around us. So, when Mercury goes into retrograde, it's believed to throw our communication and decision-making abilities into a bit of a tailspin. Emails get misinterpreted, text messages go unanswered, plans fall through, contracts get delayed, and technology seems to go haywire. It's like Mercury, in its backward dance, is pulling the strings and causing a bit of cosmic chaos. But it's not all bad news. Some people view Mercury retrograde as an opportunity for reflection and reassessment. It's a time to slow down, to rethink our decisions, to revisit old projects, and to reassess our communication style. It's a time to tune into our intuition and to pay attention to the subtle messages the universe might be sending us. Mercury retrograde can be a reminder that we're not always in control, that life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and sometimes we just have to roll with the punches. It's a time to practice patience, to embrace flexibility, and to cultivate a sense of humor when things don't go as planned. So, while Mercury retrograde might cause some hiccups in our daily lives, it also offers us a chance to grow, to reflect, and to learn. It's a cosmic wake-up call, a celestial nudge to pay attention to our thoughts, our words, and our actions. Whether you're a believer or skeptic, it's fascinating to see how an astronomical event has such a profound impact on our lives, isn't it? Now comes the fun part. How in the world do we survive Mercury retrograde? You've probably heard the phrase Mercury in retrograde and thought, well, that sounds ominous. It's not quite as scary as it sounds, but it can throw a few curveballs our way. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty and talk about how we can navigate this cosmic event with grace and ease. First off, think about slowing down. Mercury retrograde is not the time to rush through life. It's a period for reflection and reassessment. So take a step back, breathe, and take things slow. You might be surprised at what you discover when you're not in a hurry. Next, double-check the details. Mercury, in astrology, governs communication, travel, and technology. When it's in retrograde, these areas can go a bit haywire. So whether it's a work email or a travel itinerary, double and even triple check everything. You'll thank yourself later. Patience is another virtue to adopt during this time. You might find that things don't go as planned, technology fails, or communication gets a little muddled. Don't fret. Instead, be patient, keep a cool head, and remember that this is just a temporary phase. Lastly, it's generally advised to avoid making major decisions during Mercury retrograde if you can help it. This isn't because something terrible will happen, but because our judgment might be clouded or influenced by the retrograde's energy. Now, these are not hard and fast rules, but rather practical tips to help you navigate through this astrological event. Remember, astrology is a tool, not a rule. Use these tips as guidelines, but listen to your intuition above all else. Mercury retrograde might seem like a cosmic inconvenience, but it's also an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. So embrace the chaos, learn from it, and remember, it's just a phase, and it too shall pass. Remember, these are just tips. How you navigate Mercury retrograde is entirely up to you. Are you enjoying this survival guide? If so, show some love. We've been navigating the cosmic waves of Mercury retrograde together, and it's been quite a journey, hasn't it? We're thrilled to be your celestial companions in this adventure. Now, if you're finding these tips and tricks helpful, let's make this a two-way street. Your support means the moon to us. So how about hitting that like button? It's a small gesture, but it sends a big message. While you're at it, why not subscribe to our channel? That way, you'll always be in the loop when we drop new content. Just imagine, all this cosmic wisdom, right at your fingertips. And lastly, if you found this content enlightening, drop a star emoji in the comments. Yes, a star. Let's light up the comments section with our shared love for the stars and planets. Thank you for your support. It helps us create more content like this. Before we wrap up, let's bust some myths about Mercury retrograde. This celestial event, often blamed for everything from technology glitches to communication mishaps, is surrounded by a cloud of misconceptions. The reality, my friends, is far less ominous than the lore would have you believe. First off, let's address the elephant in the room, the dreaded reputation of Mercury retrograde as a harbinger of bad luck. Here's the truth. Mercury retrograde isn't out to get you. It doesn't have a personal vendetta against your laptop or your love life. It's simply an optical illusion created when Mercury, in its orbit around the sun, appears to move backward in the sky. So, any misfortune that occurs during this time is likely just a coincidence. Another common myth is that Mercury retrograde wreaks absolute chaos. Now, while it's true that this period can be associated with minor annoyances, like miscommunications or travel delays, it's important to remember that life is chock full of these little inconveniences, retrograde or not. Mercury retrograde is not some cosmic puppet master pulling the strings of disorder. You might have also heard that signing contracts or starting new projects during Mercury retrograde is a big no-no. While it's true that this period encourages reflection and review, it doesn't mean progress must come to a screeching halt. If anything, it's a reminder to be more mindful and deliberate in our actions. Not a bad thing at all, wouldn't you agree? Lastly, let's debunk the notion that Mercury retrograde is a time of unrelenting stress and struggle. Contrary to popular belief, this period can actually be a time of growth and self-improvement. It's a chance to slow down, reflect, and reassess our paths. Remember, Mercury retrograde is not a cosmic curse. It's just a natural phenomenon. So next time it rolls around, instead of bracing for disaster, why not see it as an opportunity for introspection and personal growth? We've learned a lot about Mercury retrograde today, haven't we? It's been a journey of discovery, starting with understanding what exactly Mercury retrograde is. We've uncovered its mysteries and grasped its astrological significance, showing how it influences our lives and the world around us. Then, we delved into the practical side of things, sharing survival tips to navigate these challenging periods with grace and resilience. We explored strategies like staying flexible, maintaining clear communication, and practicing mindfulness, all to help us keep our balance when Mercury appears to reverse its course in the sky. We also busted some myths about Mercury retrograde, dispelling fear and confusion. We've seen that it's not a time of inevitable chaos, but a period of reflection and reassessment, a chance to slow down and align ourselves with the cosmic rhythm. Remember, knowledge is power. The next time Mercury goes into retrograde, you'll be prepared. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.